Hello, welcome to the Impact Your Fitness podcast. Hi, Liz.
Hi.
It's your second rodeo. How do you feel?
Good.
Good. We last spoke about wear and repair. I've moved into a really fun transition of like trademarking that name because I think it's gold.
You should.
Yeah. So wear and repair is definitely a thing. I'm Jenn Schwartz. I am sitting here in Alexandria, Virginia at the Impact Your Fitness studio with our wonderful team member, Liz, who you met last time on the wear and repair episode. Today, I want to touch base more about the experience of using the NeuX interactive neuromuscular stimulation with the one and only, the pros. Here we are.
Here we are.
We are using this technology, as many of you know, to help people rewire and reconnect muscles to like the nerves and the brain for pain-free movement. Mm-hmm. And I think it would, so I just wanted to touch on like the experience of it. And one of the things that I start that conversation with our clients is, well, of course, I'm trying to sell them on not that it works, but that it's like really compatible and it feels different than any other electrical stimulation that they've had. Mm-hmm. So you have heard of TENS units.
I've used them.
Yeah. So are you able to describe the difference in sensation if you can remember using a TENS unit?
Right. So TENS unit almost causes an involuntary contraction of the muscle.
Yep.
And to the point where sometimes if you have tight muscles, it can be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
And so when we introduce the NeuX to clients, I explain it more of like a deep rumble.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and we don't want a contraction.
Mm-hmm.
We just want that nice sensation of a low rumble.
Yep. Yeah. Rumble. We've heard all kinds of great words. Sean said hard fuzz.
Okay.
He said, "Oh, that's hard fuzz. Oh, that's soft fuzz." Anyways, but rumble is our technical term that we use here.
You can trademark that too.
Yeah. And that means, okay, so I agree. It does cause the TENS unit causes an involuntary contraction. What I think it also feels like is gas, brake. It's like, on, off. Mm-hmm. And that's what that involuntary, it's like boom, boom, boom feels like. But the NeuX, it has much more, it almost tickles when it first comes on, and it has a nice, even twinkling rumble. Mm-hmm. And when it gets going, it's warming and it feels good. There are other sensations that we look for that help us almost diagnose what's going on with the client. And we're not really going to talk about those today, but I just really wanted to talk about the difference between that TENS unit and the NeuX Pro, just so when our clients, maybe they listen to this before they come in and meet us and they understand there's a difference. Mm. So TENS units are widely available. You can get them on Amazon for like $40.
Yes.
This is not that either. There's a huge price difference. I think some of the more high range, like more expensive TENS units run in the hundreds to 1,000 at most. The direct current units, there's only a handful on the market. Of course, we use the NeuX NeuX Pro. They run in the category of used Honda Civics. So thousands of dollars, and they're absolutely worth the investment because it has been a game changer for our studio and our clients and Liz herself and me, myself.
Right.
So what else do I want to say about that? It does actually increase muscle stiffness. That's correct. The TENS unit does.
100%.
Yeah, it really does. And I think like that's one of the main things when people do find benefit from it, because people still use them. It's not like it's not like people don't use them, right? So I think what they can do nicely is increase blood flow, and help the brain turn off the pain receptors temporarily if it is doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on the flip side, what it also can do is turn on the sympathetic nervous system, which means it's just not going to last very long. So, is it?
Well, then it also
yeah.
puts your body in a state of hyper awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's not capable of whatever workout you're getting or whatever exercise you're doing to fully obtain the benefit of it.
Yeah. Which is also the benefit of using the NeuX, is because it changes the protective mechanism, gets rid of the protective mechanism, and we use that reboot system, which there's no way a TENS unit can do that, which does that, gets people into parasympathetic so they can get the gains.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked about this on like the stretching episodes, where I don't want to say I'm anti-stretching. I'm close to it for most people. But one of the main things that you have to learn if you are going to employ stretching is that you can't do it unless you're emotionally and mentally relaxed. Otherwise, you're just fighting your body. Same thing with the workouts.
Well, and half the time, the reason why you're stressing is because you're not relaxed.
Yeah. So it's, usually not an efficient use of time. But if anyways, we're not going to get into the stretching conversation. I've had that many times. Geez. Okay. So the benefits that we talk about here at the studio using the NeuX, we're increasing strength, stability, and control. I don't think a TENS unit can do that. It is, I think one of the biggest benefits is because it increases control and strength and mobility all at the same time. It's also because you're getting up to 250 reps per second. And that's your brain learning at a hugely accelerated rate. Mm-hmm. A TENS unit, I read that it only does it 10 times per second. And that's I think our brain is more like naturally when we're working out, I think it's closer to like the 100 or I think 80. But I could be wrong. But I know the 10 seconds, 10 times per second with the TENS unit. And then with the NeuX Pro, we can go up to 250 reps per second.
Well, that makes sense because it works the muscle 2 to 5 times more than what it would normally do. So those numbers add up.
Okay. Yay. Well, yeah. Hey, nobody's ever said I was good at numbers. So I'll take that as a I'm growing as a practitioner and business owner. So the other thing I love about the experience of it is like when you get that kick of like more metabolism like happening at the muscle level. Oh gosh, I love that. I love that feeling I get from, a session with the NeuX. When I just had it on my shoulders a few minutes ago, just 4 pads, rhomboids and lats, it just feels like a hug. It's so good. Versus like when you're doing an injury type of treatment like we did for my knee, where it feels like, it almost feels like you got this like boot on and it's just like stimulating the whole lower leg at the same time. I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that? You have a good amount of working out experience with it too.
I feel like exercises feel better when I'm using it. And I have less hesitation.
That's big.
It just feels really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So don't be scared of it.
Don't be scared.
Yeah. Because we're really, we're opening up the brain, muscle, nerve communication. We're reestablishing that connection and getting you back to factory settings, pre-injury, pre-overexerting yourself. Okay, so we do have like a 4th, 5th reason. This is pretty big.
It is.
Yeah, which is when you're using the TENS unit, it feels like things are like a little out of control.
Because it's forced.
Yeah, it's forced. And usually when people are using it, they're sitting at the chiropractor's office with some ice. I never understood this. They have the They definitely did this in the athletic training room 20 years ago when I played college soccer. They would put the stimulation on my groin and then a bag of ice.
Well, it's passive.
Yeah.
Right?
And you just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
So not much in your control. You're just taking it. And it's not comfortable. Ice directly on the skin doesn't feel good either, right? That's probably a bad use of it. Anyways, so I know, think about athletic training room 20 years ago. But, and a lot of people use it after chiropractic adjustments, which when I think about it in this context doesn't make a whole lot of sense either, from the involuntary muscle contraction piece. So the experience of getting feedback, that is la-ti-da. That is different. If you could see the shoulder shrug I got from Liz right now, you'd be giggling too. Yeah. So what's your hot take?
Well, it gives, as you're doing your exercises, it gives you feedback by lessening the sensation. So then we can increase it because your muscles being able to obtain all that voltage, right?
Yes.
So it's just an instant way to show you're getting stronger.
Yes. So I'm sure you've got some good examples of that with clients. Like, what do you tell them in the session? Like, you're going to feel this way. I want you to work with it.
Yeah, there's two different scenarios. One is overall.
Mm-hmm.
The initial, when you turn the machine on and you start exercising, and then they get used to it. Mm-hmm. So then I say, okay, I'm going to turn it up. Mm-hmm. And we just kind of incrementally turn it up until, it's at that level where we get a nice rumble. Mm-hmm. And the second one is if you have a particular pad placement that is stronger than all the other pad placements, then we coach them to focus on that specific area until the stimulation decreases.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And it does. We see it happen within a couple minutes.
Well, and it makes you mindful. So you have that mind-body connection.
Yeah. And I think I've seen you experience it with that hip flexion, like leg pressing motion, like the hip and knee go into flexion and then it pushes straight. And I've seen you work through that several times, and you've been able to build on each and every session.
Oh yeah, my power increases every time I do it.
Yeah, that's dope. That's so great. And, and coming from someone who's had so many ups and downs with the hip, fitness, up, down, no, yes. It's just infuriating. So to see you make progress week after week is, it's very rewarding and inspiring.
Well, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you for all that you've done, investing in me.
And investing in yourself. You're doing the work for sure. Feedback wise, I've had different experiences because I've had it on like really like stable, healthy tissue, like my right arm. I've had it just on one spot. On the back, I've had different experiences. So it does give us feedback on how our body's moving. And man, we love that about like pretty much all the modalities here. We think that's like one of the main things is like you're learning how to get feedback from your movement and learning about your body and how it moves. So another reference to that user manual, that's a big part of what we do here is teaching you how to move. And it's just a lovely thing that we hope to share with you guys here. And Impact Your Fitness, we think it's the future of the fitness industry, future of doing rehab. So I hope to see you guys out there from podcast land. Walk your great little feet in here without orthotics on, and we'll have a great experience showing you what this all feels like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, the podcast, the audio version of what it feels like to use the NeuX Pro. So anyways, we had one of our clients suggested that we open up the podcast with a reference to Bowie taking socks. And I was like, I don't know if that'll work, but I'm thinking out loud right now, it's not going to work. So, but I really want you guys to be, be like open to this learning process of, you have a user manual, and it's really hard to tinker with your body and learn what's best for you if you don't have the user manual. So keep coming back to the podcast. We're going to keep educating you. And of course, if you're one of our clients, that's one of our favorite things. Got anything else, Liz?
I don't think so. We covered a lot.
Yeah. Boom, boom. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. See you next time.